Okay, just updating on here. Today I quit my job, um, am selling this property and moving to the mountains. So that's the agenda right there. It's kind of crazy. Still kind of absorbing it. I wasn't going to do a video today, but it's a strange feeling. So we'll just go with that. Okay, as stated, quit my job today, and the wife and I, we are selling this place, beautiful, our 40-acre homestead that we've had almost the last 10 years. We had been thinking about it for a while. I will show you some maps, but ultimately the reason for it is population density and our lifestyle. Right now, this beautiful homestead that it kind of hurts to get rid of is just west of Milwaukee and Chicago. We are in the very edge, but it's still part of Kenosha County. I don't know if anybody remembers riots in Kenosha County, or Kenosha, so it was a little close to home. And just the people per square mile. Our current area here, I mean, it's nice and quiet here because my driveway is a quarter mile long and I'm far away from the road, but our road is just super busy. I think there's like 800 people per square mile, and we're moving to an area with like 8. So it's this area is so busy now. I mean, just everywhere you go, it's just, and it's scary too because we just sold this property and we can never come back. The property has risen so much in price, or the dollar has devalued, I guess, depending on how you want to look at it, but we couldn't afford to move back here. It's crazy. It's just so crazy right now. So yeah, this is a little bit of the craziness in my life right now, and also a start to, this is the second time my wife and I are getting another home, like a homestead. This one we started from scratch 10 years ago, and now the new one will be starting. We're slowly moving there, so it'll be interesting. We've learned a lot on this property. A lot of things maybe will help you out looking for your rural property. So many things to consider when looking for property, and our strategic relocation. We read the book, Strategic Relocation, you know, because we are prepared mindset. We're into self-reliance, though, you know, we're still like some comfort items, but we try to live as simply as possible and as self-reliant as possible. We don't, you know, we still buy, somebody made a comment on one of my shorts about we have toilet paper. Yeah, we still have toilet paper. I mean, we're not gonna use leaves, and we're not primitive. We're still comfortable. We live as simply as we want within our comfort zone. But yeah, population density is a big thing. The Strategic Relocation book, anybody who's read it, it's really good, but its main focus is surviving nuclear war and whatnot, and that can happen, correct. But my wife and I are planning to live the best life we can, live where we want to vacation, because the S could hit the fan tomorrow and it could all be over and we could be living in the Stone Age, or we're going to live until we're 90. So financially, you want to look at cost of living in the different areas, jobs. That's a big one. The area we're going to is literally one of those areas that is take the job with you. There's no jobs there. So it's a thing. I did give the option to my employer. My job literally was remote, but I was in the office, and I gave the option that I would work remote, and it didn't go for it. So I planned for that. So my wife still works remotely 100%. So she's been doing that for years. So it's not, you know, there's other companies that hire. So I could do that. It's kind of up in the air right now. It's kind of like we're still in the middle of a move. We got to be out of here. But like I said, we've been planning this for some time. So a little bit in shock today because it's the first time I've put in a resignation to a company that absolutely nothing was wrong with it. It was a dream job, great pay, great people that I worked with, just nothing wrong with it. It's just the location where we lived. My wife and I felt like we would come to our homestead and just not really want to do much outside of it, because there really wasn't much outside of here besides restaurants, bars, stores, shopping malls, crowds, lots of traffic, and it just kept getting more crowded. And as people moved here, they want more. Like I said, when I was a kid in this area, I grew up in this area, moved away, came back, and was like, holy cow, it's just busy. 10 years ago I moved back and I was like, couldn't believe how busy it is. And now being here over those 10 years, it's just insane since COVID how busy this area has gotten. And it's because we're in between Milwaukee and Chicago. If you have a pulse, you can get a job here. If you have a pulse and a little bit of work ethic, you can get a great paying job here. If you have all of the above, and then plus give it 110%, sky's the limit out in this area, literally. Like if I wanted to, I could go in this area and just get a job tomorrow in the same field and probably get more pay. But we want a simple life. Lower cost of living is a plus. Like I said, simple life. We're not anti-people. We want a small community. This place used to be it. And unfortunately, this area is just so divided politically. It just gets old. I mean, it's like there's more to life than talking politics. I mean, it's important, but at the same time, it's just a strange feeling in this area. And this area it's so busy. Like I said, it's hard. You may not see it here, but I can hear. I don't think this mic's gonna pick it up, but I can just constant cars coming by. I used to get up for work 3:30 in the morning to leave here, and I would be the only person on the road. And then after COVID, it was like a rush hour at that time. And then I would take a lunch break sometimes in the middle of the day, just random times, and it was just everywhere is jam-packed 24 hours a day. It's just bizarre. I'll get up here in the middle of the night and the road down there, it's a quarter mile away, but I could see headlights. This area is just so busy. It's hard to. So number one thing when planning your rural escape, I guess is the best way to say it, is possibly jobs. Most good small rural towns don't have as many jobs. The town we're going to does have a Dollar General, but unfortunately, I'm not knocking it, but it's just the pay is not what we're used to. I got to take that adjustment because it's pay out here is it's not the same scale as it is out there. Cost of living is just completely different out here. Lots of pluses where we're going. There is no salt in the winter, so your vehicle will last longer. Here, you're lucky to get 10 years out of a car before it's a complete rust bucket. And then cars are just so expensive. And the hardest part about today, though, with putting in my resignation was in this area, and probably other areas, your job title and your job is just who you are. It is just a strange thing. My company recently had a lot of people retire. I'm younger, and they pretty much asked, what are you going to do? And I said, if I couldn't keep my job, I said, retire and do something on the side. And they just could not understand that, like a lot of people. But a lot of people are like, wow, I get that, because your job, like one guy said, he goes, oh, are you trading one prison for another prison? The old saying with your job is golden handcuffs. You have the gold, but you're cuffed. It's like you can't leave the job because you need the money. So you do need to consider about relocating about jobs. And I've looked in the area, and there's, possibly I'm not beneath going to Dollar General. I just don't know. I want to see if there's still some remote options that I can still do something in my profession because I'm good at it and it's what I know and I'm comfortable, and but at the same time, my current job, like I said, it was a dream job, but it was very stressful. I was there minimum 10 hours a day easily, and 5 days a week, sometimes weekends, sometimes evenings. For the most part, it was pretty maintained 10 plus hours a day of relaxing stress. Like it was the stress I'm used to. So it was interesting today because my coworkers are just great, and they were very supportive, and a lot of them wanted me to continue there, but it was beyond my pay grade, and I never have headaches. And I was just kind of like, everybody's like, wow, you're taking it so good, and I'm like, I've had a headache for 2 days now, and it's just a lot to take in. But this is a dream that many have, and they just never do it. And the biggest push for me, like I said, my company is great, but since I've been there at this particular company, it was only a little over 2 years. 3 people had passed away since I'd been there. my age or younger. And two of them I really didn't know, but everybody, they were very well respected. And one of them I never really knew as a plant worker, but I would eat lunch with, I had a weird position where a lot of flexibility, a lot of, I could interact with, and I just would sit with different people at lunchtime because I like to sit with random people and just strike up conversations. And I was talking to this guy, and he was just mentioning how he was going to retire soon. He had a new fiance, was super happy, and was looking forward to retiring with her and traveling and seeing different parts of the country. And then literally a week later, he died of a, I don't know, heart attack. It was very sudden and very sad. Like it was just, it really hit me because it's like the other two people I really didn't know, didn't take the time, unfortunately, to get to know them. And it just never left me, that feeling of like, wow, this guy was telling me his dreams and they're not going to happen. And it's just sad. And then, like I said, it's just so that's the number one thing. I mean, you need to hash this out and think about it a lot because like I planned for this and I'm still kind of, it's hard to explain. I worked very hard in my field to get where I am, and now I just said it's done. And I was talking to a really good colleague today who's actually older than me and he's retiring, and I was explaining how I feel, and he's like, he's actually retiring in a couple months, and he's like, that's how I feel. Your whole identity is your job. You know, I am Dan that did this. I used to be Dan the Marine. You know, I used to be for the last while while it was in my specific field, and apparently I was very good, but not good enough to be. The economy is a little rough right now, and we knew that there was going to be slowdowns in the company, and I knew this was absolutely the worst time to request. And I have a couple bosses, but my international boss, who I spoke to today, said my proposal that I offered, he said, was excellent. Unfortunately, upper management just did not see the feasibility of it, and they're pretty against remote positions unless it's in sales, which I'm not in sales. I'm more of a technical field. So still absorbing that in. But like I said, if you're going to plan to do life-changing, move to the country, get your country house, you could always get a property like this where you're very close to a job or close to your jobs. In this area, though, our property, I just can't believe what it sold for. The properties here are just insanely expensive, and we got an offer on here in 3 days. And we are moving to the mountains, and the property that we are moving to was on the market for months. Like it sits. Other areas, they sit. This area, you list anything with acreage, we have acreage, which was just unheard of here because there's just nothing available. The only negative on our property is we had a very simple house, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and everybody in this area wants 3,500 square feet, 4 bathrooms, 6 bedrooms. It's like my area is where I live right now is very materialistic, and it's very, you are your job, you are what you drive, and I've never really fit in. My wife and we don't fit in. My wife has her chickens, the goats, she milks the goats. I eat chicken eggs every morning at work. Somebody asked me, they're like, you're young, how are you doing this? And I'm like, well, there's a reason I drive a 20-year-old car and eat leftovers every day when everybody else is driving a brand new whatever and eating out every day. Yeah, we get paid well, but it's the saying too, and I hate to preach, but somebody very wise told me once, and I say anybody older than me with a lot of life experience I listen to and I consider them wise, but it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. You could make $100,000 plus a year and spend it all and be living paycheck to paycheck, or you could be making a quarter of that and living comfortably. So just remember that. Everybody's situation is different, and you could be like me and now make nothing. I'm still taking that in. It's liberating and at the same time. So slowly taking that in. But I admit some people at work were saying, wow, you're a smart dude and you can come up, you can come up with something. I'm like, yeah, I'll come up with something. I'm not too worried right at the moment. I'm more focused on the move right now, getting the new place set up. And yeah, so this is going to be the first episode on that. Because like I said, everybody has, a lot of people have this dream, but how do you materialize this dream? And for us, the first step was planning the location and could we keep our jobs or not keep our jobs. We planned for this. We had two plans: keep my job, don't keep my job. The big thing right now is we're moving to the mountains. I really wanted a new vehicle. Like I love overlanding. Had an FJ Cruiser years ago. Had a Blazer. Cool vehicles. Right now I do not. And I was like, man, we're gonna move to the mountains finally. I want a cool off-road vehicle. And now that I'm not keeping my job, I'm like, okay, I'm not getting a cool vehicle right away. That's gonna go priority. That is now a want, not a need. Now we're just gonna focus on needs, which is, it's not a big deal. We still have a truck that really wanted to get rid of, but now it still has four-wheel drive. It'll work. So I'm not, we have a vehicle. My Crossfire that I drive to work every day, it's only got 65,000 miles. It will not work good in the mountains. I'm going to pause right here. Okay, back again. My wife just came. We were just talking again, but I'm going to end this here. Like I said, hopefully other people consider, their dream and moving to a rural mountain area, whatever your dream is, homesteading. Hopefully this helps a little bit. I'm going to go in some future videos. I have a list of things that we looked at when we were looking to buy land and criteria. That strategic relocation book, like I said, is great, but that's to survive the end of the world, which may not happen. And how are you going to survive tomorrow when it's a regular week? And that was our big criteria. So I'm going to go kind of break it. I was going to do one humongous long video, but it's just easier to break it up. So this one's main focus is have a plan, your location first, the area you like, and then research within there, but then also have a plan for jobs or lack of jobs. A lot of the best rural areas, like everybody tells me, is bring your job with you. There's just not a lot of jobs there, or be prepared, like I'm going to be prepared to just pick a job that will help pay the bills and is something interesting. Never, I've done it all, so, and I'm nothing's beneath me, so I just hope I can find something that I enjoy, because it's job in general is a big part of your life. So yeah, so like I said, I'm still taking this in, but don't let the dream, like I said, don't become that guy at my work it just never happened. This is, I'll end it here shortly, but as my wife said, keep dreaming or tear the Band-Aid off now. There's never going to be a good time, probably. And right now the economy, it is the worst time. We're in the middle of elections that are just going crazy. I mean, it is probably the worst time in history to move, maybe. And we're doing it. So don't let that stop you. Be aware, be prepared. But at the same time, you have one life to live, and it's not as long as we think, So with that, be safe. Hopefully this is inspirational. Hopefully the next time I film, I'm a little bit more calm. I'm still taking in the move, and then the fact of resigning, just it's a lot to take in. But yeah, so till next time, enjoy. And then to new viewers, thanks for watching. To people that subscribe, thanks for being a subscriber. It helps. It just gives me something to look forward to, interacting with people. Thanks again. Bye.